Abraham Lincoln, an American lawyer and statesman, was born on February 12, 1809, and died on April 15, 1865. He was the 16th President of the United States, holding the office from 1861 until his death in 1865. Lincoln guided the country through the American Civil War and was successful in maintaining the Union, abolition of slavery, strengthening the federal government, and modernization of the American economy. Lincoln was raised in the frontier, largely in Indiana, after being born in Kentucky. He self-educated himself to become a lawyer, leader of the Whig Party, state legislator for Illinois, and member of the United States Congress from Illinois. He resumed his prosperous law career in central Illinois in 1849. He returned to politics in 1854 after becoming incensed by the Kansas-Nebraska Act, which legalized slavery in the new territory. He quickly rose to prominence as the new Republican Party's leader. During the 1858 Senate campaign debates against Stephen Douglas, he attracted a wide audience. In 1860, Lincoln ran for president and won by mobilizing the North. His election was seen as a danger to slavery by groups in the South, and Southern states started breaking away from the Union. At this time, the newly established Confederate States of America started taking Southern government military installations. Fort Sumter, a U.S. fort in South Carolina, was assaulted by the Confederate States less than 1 month after Lincoln took office. After the bombardment, Lincoln gathered his troops to put down the uprising and re-establish the Union. With friends and foes from the Democratic and Republican parties, Lincoln, a moderate Republican, had to negotiate a volatile array of groups. The War Democrats and the Radical Republicans, who were his friends, asked that the Southern Confederates be treated harshly. Lincoln was hated by Copperhead Democrats who opposed the war, and irrational pro-Confederate forces sought his murder. He controlled the groups by playing on their rivalry, carefully allocating political favors, and making appeals to the American people. His Gettysburg Address became known as one of the most powerful and significant declarations of American national purpose. Lincoln carefully oversaw the war effort's strategy and tactics, including the choice of generals, and put in place a naval blockade on the South's trade. Successfully running for re-election on his own, Lincoln, through reconciliation, he hoped to help the country recover from its war damage. He was seeing a play at Ford's Theater on April 14, 1865, only a few days after the war ended at Appomattox. Lincoln successfully ran his own re-election campaign. He aimed to bring peace to the country that had been devastated by war. He was shot and killed by Confederate sympathizer John Wilkes Booth on April 14, 1865, 2 days after the war's end at Appomattox. He was with his wife Mary at a play at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. For his leadership during the war, his attempts to uphold the Union, and his endeavors to end slavery, Abraham Lincoln is honored as a martyr and a national hero. Lincoln is frequently rated as the greatest president in American history in both scholarly and popular polls.